Hey, what's going on, Scorpios? Butch here. I am going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. And with all that being said, let's get it. Universe. What we have for Scorpios. What's going on for Scorpios? All right, Scorpios. So the first thing I see, Scorpios, I feel like this is someone that you already know. And I feel like, I feel like there was definitely some chemistry between the two of you, but I feel like it never really went anywhere. Now, I feel like I said, you definitely have a connection with this person already. We have that 3 of Cups, could be a friend or someone that you wanted more from, but I feel like this person never really showed up. And I feel like at one point it even went cold. A lot of hot and cold energy here, but I feel like there was some flirtatious energy. I feel like there was definitely something that we saw there. There's definitely something we thought was more, but they never really followed through. And I feel like like I said, I feel like you had at least that friendship or at least some kind of connection where all of a sudden they just went cold on you. They just kind of ghosted you. And the reason they did that isn't what you thought it was. Thinking that maybe they weren't interested. Thinking that, it was all just a game with them. They didn't feel the same way. But that's not at all true. Now, here's the truth. The first thing I see when it comes to this person and how they feel for you is I feel like this person only thinks about you. This person hasn't stopped thinking about you. I feel like this person, they weren't always honest about how they felt. I feel like the flirtation was their way in the door, but I feel like when they started feeling more, I feel like they were scared. They weren't expecting to find you. But even though that hot and cold energy, even though they, like I said, I feel like they did go cold on you, they haven't stopped thinking about you. They only think about you. I mean, it's not over. It's not over for them. I feel like it was more of a self-preservation. They got scared. And I feel like they were overthinking the shit of this, thinking too much on what the worst possible outcome would be. I feel like this person got in their head. And I feel like they continue to spend time in their head long after they went cold. We have the Hermit. Spending way too much time in their head, overthinking the shit out of this. I feel like this person kind of went. I feel like this person's kind of had like this player energy. Not necessarily a player, but they had that energy where they weren't really looking for anybody. They were just kind of floating around. But then they met you, and it changed their perspective. They started seeing things differently. And it scared them because they weren't looking for it. They weren't expecting it. And when it hit like a ton of bricks, and this person started to fall for you hard. And instead of telling you, they counter, they you know, they they went overboard with it. You know what I mean? Like they went the opposite way completely. They started shutting down on you. They started shutting you out. They started being like I said, that's when that hot and cold energy started, because they started to be fearful of losing you. They started being fearful of both angles of this. They were afraid of losing you, and they were also afraid of moving forward with you because they were afraid of getting hurt. And that's where the overthinking came in. Every possible scenario they were thinking about was them getting hurt. So it was like, for them, it was a self-preservation. They started hiding how they felt. They started, detaching themselves from you. But that didn't work for them, because this person is still thinking about you. I mean, that internal struggle within them pushed them away, but it didn't change anything. They know exactly what they want. And I feel like them taking that time and spending time in their head, they finally started to accept what was right in front of them. Starting to accept that they made a huge mistake. And I feel like I said, with that hangman, I feel like it's causing a huge transformation in this person. They're realizing how badly they screwed up. They realized what they've lost because they can't seem to let you go. And they also don't want to let you go. They thought they could walk away from this and not thinking about it again. Think again. I mean, this person's been fantasizing about you. I mean, they think about you. They daydream. They night dream. They're always thinking about you. And how much they can't walk away from this. How much they don't want to walk away from this. I feel like this was a wake-up call for them. They needed it. Like I said, I do see this person opening up communication with you moving forward. And I feel like this person knows damn well that they're going to have to earn your trust back. But when they're coming back, like when this person comes back, they're not going to want it to be the same. They're going to want to be with you. Not just be your friend, not just be an acquaintance. They're going to want to be with you. And they're going to make that very clear. They're going to chase you until they get what they want. They're going to, like I said, they know they have to establish trust with you. They know that they need to make amends. But like I said, they will chase you because they do want, they want to be with you. They want to grab you, hold on to you, and never let you go. Because they know what it feels like now to be without you. And I feel like I said, it was a huge wake-up call for this person. And like I said, I mean, we got this person, we got the Ten of Wands, this person putting in the work to make you happy. That's a scary thing. And it's kind of, some people don't really understand it. But I get it now. I understand it now. You think if somebody was in love and somebody wanted to be with you and somebody had these strong feelings for you, that they'd tell you. But for some people, that's one of the most scariest things there can be. Especially when they weren't expecting it. But now that they know what they want, like I said, this person's been fantasizing about you. This person's been dreaming about you. They can't seem to let you go. They can't shake you. So instead of fighting the current, instead of swimming against the current, they're just letting it flow now. And like I said, they know they have to make things right. And they're going to. Because they want to be with you. With that faith card, the Hierophant. They want, they see a future with you. And you're the only one they see a future with. They want to build that foundation with you. And if that foundation starts from them crawling back to you and begging for your forgiveness, that's what they'll do. And trust me when I say this person will give you everything they have. But like I said, they're not looking for the same dynamic you had before. This person wants to move forward. They want something serious with you, and they will show up for you. They will give to you. They will show up for you. They will put in the work for you. Because they want that feeling back. This person wants you, and they want you in their story. They want you in that story they tell when they get old, and they talk about love. They want to rekindle this. They want it to work, and they'll do everything it takes to make it work. Because they know what it's like to not have you. They know what it's like to lose you. And like I said, I'll say it again, it's a wake-up call. Now they're awake. Now they're seeing things the way it should be seen, the way they should have seen it in the first place. But like I said, you will be surprised, shocked, and amazed by the amount of people, emails I get from most. I mean, it's probably 60-40. More men than women, but a lot of people say that. They're scared. They meet someone that they have this amazing connection with, and they're scared. They're afraid, and they're not afraid of what you think they'd be afraid of. They're afraid that they're going to screw it up. I mean, there's multiple reasons. They're afraid they're going to screw it up. They're afraid that the other person doesn't feel the same way. And there's so many different things, and they're just piling these up, and they're just looking for these red flags that aren't there. Because sometimes in people's minds, it's easier to walk away than to accept it. But it never works out. Look at this person. I mean, this person's going to be begging for you back. Doing everything they can to make you happy. And like I said, they're coming back. And they're going to make you an offer. And it's a very serious offer. No more bullshitting. They let you get away once. They're not going to let it happen again. The sad thing is sometimes we have to lose what's most important to us to understand the importance they had to us. It's a slippery slope sometimes. Sometimes when you find someone that means so much to you, and it's so hard to take out that negative mindset. You're thinking about, okay, if they don't like me, or they don't feel the same about me, if I give bare my soul to this person, will I be destroyed someday for it? And it's a genuine fear that a lot of people have. I get a lot of emails, and I didn't know how big of a thing it really was. I didn't realize how many people turn down good relationships because they're scared. They're afraid of getting hurt. Especially when you feel something for someone, you feel all these feelings for someone, and they're very strong. You feel this pull toward it, almost like a magnet. You're pulled to this person, but you don't understand why. And instead of figuring it out, you just run and hide. The fight or flight. Now with this person, we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. It actually reminds me, one of my really good buddies. He was with this girl, and they were together since right after high school. They had a kid together. And then after a few years, he got to a point where, he was second guessing the relationship. He was wondering if she was only with him because she got pregnant and she depended on him. She was comfortable with him. Like, he had so many fears. So then he started shutting her out. They ended up breaking up. And for probably 2 years after that, he went through one of the most depressing stages of his life. I mean, I remember once a week he'd give me a call, upset. Like, we talked pretty much every day, but at least once a week, he'd call me up, and he'd be really down, and I'd have to go over. Me and some buddies would take him out fishing or do whatever we could to cheer him up. But one night we had this really deep conversation, and he said, I think all those times I thought that she wasn't into it, or that she was pushing me away, that was me pushing her away. And he said that I started taking it for granted. And he was talking about how he missed her and how, he feels so empty without her. And I told him, I said, you're telling the wrong person. Go tell her. And he's like, no, she won't listen to me. I pushed her away. I don't deserve her in my life. And I said, let her be the judge of that. Now, it took him a few weeks to get his courage up, but he finally admitted what was going on in his head. He finally told her everything. He bared his soul, is what he told me. They got back together. They had another kid. And they're still going strong. Now, I honestly feel like if they didn't have that 2-year break, if he didn't have that time to see what was going on, if he didn't have that time to reflect and really get his thoughts together, they may not be happy. They might have still been together, but they weren't. They would have made each other less and less happy. And that's the thing. Sometimes we have to lose everything that matters to us to understand why it truly mattered. And understand that, how important it was to us. And like I said, he went through a 2-year dark period where he was depressed. He threw away the best thing he ever had. And the reason he had for throwing it away was ridiculous, because he was assuming things about her, feeling like she was distant. And it's funny because he actually told me that when they got back together, he was telling her how he felt like she was detaching from him. She said, listen, I just had a kid. It took up a lot of my time, and instead of just having that clear conversation with her in the beginning, which solved a lot of it, he decided to start pushing her away, started neglecting her, started to, be detached. And one of the worst things you can do, a lot of people say that too, is when you break up and they say, oh, she ended up breaking up with him because he was so detached. But he was like, well, she broke up with me. But it's almost like you forced her hand. And I always think it's funny when people force someone's hand, they make that decision for them, or they make that decision easy for them. And then they talk like they're the ones that left them. But like I said, sometimes we don't realize what we have until it's gone. And sometimes it's gone forever. And it'd be a hell of a lesson to learn. But like I said, this person has learned their lesson. They're coming back for you. And like I said, they're coming back with a real offer. They got a taste of what life was like without you, and they didn't like it. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.